We're learning more about a deadly helicopter crash that happened in Pinal County, killing 4 people. A witness saw the helicopter strike a slack line that was strung across a canyon before it crashed. A slack line is a kind of tightrope that people walk across at high elevations. And we're now learning the FAA had issued a notice about this exact slack line just days before this crash happened. 12 News journalist Gabriela Becerra in studio with more on that. Gabby?
Well, Troy, that notice was issued on December 26, warning pilots of a roughly 1 kilometer tightrope in the mountains just outside of Superior. But it's unclear if the pilots saw that notice before taking off. A helicopter crashed in the mountains of Telegraph Canyon shortly after taking off from Pegasus Air Park in Queen Creek, killing a pilot and his 3 nieces. Family identifies the pilot as 59-year-old David McCarty and the passengers all in their early 20s as Caitlin Heidemann, Rachel McCarty, and Faith McCarty. One family member shared this statement. They went out for a helicopter ride in Arizona. The helicopter crashed and they never got the chance to come home. A 911 caller reported seeing the helicopter strike a recreational slackline strung across the mountain range before falling to the bottom of the canyon.
It's hitting the wires. That's the same thing as taking a knife through a helicopter.
A slackline is a flat, tensioned piece of webbing stretched between 2 fixed points, used for balancing or walking, and in this case, an extreme sport called highlining. Carrie Grant, an associate professor at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University, tells me any wire is an extreme hazard to aviation.
Any wire is very, very difficult to pick up when you're flying. It blends in with the terrain, and even if there's flags or tags on the wire, it still is very difficult to pick up.
The International Slackline Association says the highline had aviation markers attached to it, adding the FAA had been informed and a notice to airmen or NOTAM had been issued before the collision. 12 News did find that NOTAM warning pilots of a tightrope at 600 feet above ground level.
There are resources like ForeFlight or Garmin Pilot that will allow you to visually see where a NOTAM is at. But you have to turn that feature on in order to see it, and then you can tap on it, and it will give you some information about what that NOTAM is there for.
Pilots are required to review NOTAMs prior to flying, but Grant says they can be often missed or overlooked.
Because there is just a lot of information, and if you're not looking in the right place, you don't see the information that you need.
Grant adds flying in low-level environments often presents more obstacles for pilots.
We don't know what he did, but he was probably very familiar with the route and didn't expect changes like the slack line to be there in the route.
The NTSB is conducting a full investigation of this crash. Troy?
Yeah, and this line, you said some 600 feet up. It seems like an incredibly dangerous sport to begin with. They walk across that line?
That's right. They walk across the line, sometimes doing different balancing acts across of it. It's a hobby that many people have, and it's often quite dangerous as well.
All right. Gabriela, thank you very much.